I met him when I was 23. It was one of those completely random moments you don't think will matter, but then it ends up changing everything. We were both just waiting in line at this little coffee shop near my office. He turned to me and made some silly joke about how long the line was, and I laughed. That was it. Or at least, that's what I thought at the time. I didn't see him again for a few days, but then, there he was, same coffee shop, same time. This time, he smiled, and it felt like the whole room lit up. He was kind. And I don't mean just polite. It was a deep, genuine kindness that felt incredibly rare. He actually listened when I talked, like really listened. He'd remember the tiniest details from conversations we'd had weeks ago. He never rushed me or tried to impress me with flashy stories or big gestures. He just made me feel safe. And after years of dating guys who were emotionally unavailable or just unsure of what they wanted, that feeling of safety felt like coming home. It was everything I didn't even know I was searching for. We started dating a few weeks later. On our third date, he showed up with a bouquet of my favorite flowers. Not because it was some special occasion, but just because. He handed them to me and said, "You deserve nice things." I think that was the moment I started to fall for him, and I fell hard. For the next 3 years, I truly believed I was the luckiest woman in the world. We weren't just a couple, we were a team. We built this whole life together, made up of tiny, beautiful routines. Sunday mornings were for grocery shopping, making our way through the aisles, planning our meals for the week. Tuesdays were for late-night takeout after we both had long, exhausting days at work. We had our shows, the ones we'd seen 100 times but would still fall asleep to every night. It was comfortable. It was easy. It was us. He talked about the future like it was already written in stone, I guarantee. He spoke of marriage, of what our kids would be like, of buying a house somewhere quiet with a big backyard. He had it all mapped out, and I was right there beside him in every picture he painted. He called me his person. He'd say it with such certainty, looking right into my eyes. And I believed him with every single part of my heart. I was his person. And he was mine. The story was supposed to end with us, together forever. Looking back on it all now, it's like watching a movie where you know the ending but you can't look away. I wonder how many red flags I just ignored. How many little signs did I brush aside? How many times did I make an excuse for something that felt off? I think I was so in love with the idea of him, with the version of him I had in my head, that I refused to see the cracks that were starting to form. I didn't want to lose him. But maybe what I was really afraid of losing was the dream of that safe, comfortable life he had promised me. The problem is, when you ignore the red flags, you're not protecting the relationship. You're just delaying the heartbreak. And that heartbreak was coming for me, whether I was ready for it or not. If you've ever been in a situation like this, where you've loved someone so much that you overlooked things you shouldn't have, I hope you know you're not alone. It is so easy to get lost in the good moments and forget to pay attention to the warning signs. If this story resonates with you, let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to hear what happened next, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next part of the story. Thanks for being here and for listening. The late nights at work, the phone always face down, the way he'd step outside to take certain calls. But I trusted him, because when you love someone, you assume they're telling you the truth. Then one night, everything changed. It was an ordinary night. No arguments, no tension. We had dinner, watched some TV. He kissed my forehead and went to take a shower. His phone was on the nightstand, just sitting there. It buzzed. I didn't move at first. Then it buzzed again. I wasn't trying to snoop. I swear I wasn't. But the screen lit up, and my eyes landed on the message preview before my brain could even stop it. It read, "I missed last night. When can I see you again?" My heart dropped so fast it felt physical, like someone had just punched me straight in the chest. I remember whispering, "No, no, no." I told myself there had to be an explanation. A wrong number, a sick joke, anything but what I was thinking. But my hands were shaking as I picked up the phone. I opened the messages, and in that one moment, my entire reality, everything I thought was true, just collapsed. There were weeks of texts, pictures I wish I had never seen, voice notes, inside jokes. She called him baby. She complained about missing him. She talked about the nights they spent together like they were something normal, something ongoing. And the worst part, he responded like it was nothing. Like I didn't exist. Like our life together was just a placeholder while he was waiting for something else. I sat there on the edge of the bed, just staring at the bathroom door, listening to the sound of the shower running. I felt completely numb. I wasn't angry. I wasn't crying. I was just empty. When he came out, towel wrapped around his waist, smiling like everything was perfectly fine, I asked him just one question: who is she? The smile vanished instantly. His face went pale. He tried to laugh it off at first, said I must have misunderstood, said she was just a coworker. Being weird, I just held out the phone. The silence that followed felt endless. He sat down heavily on the bed and ran his hands through his hair. Finally, he whispered, it didn't mean anything. Apparently, it had been going on for 6 months. 6 months of lies. 6 months of coming home to me, acting like nothing was wrong. 6 months of planning a future with me while building a whole separate one with someone else. That night was the start of a long, painful journey. But looking back, it was also the start of my healing. It was the moment I stopped being a character in his story and started writing my own. The pain of betrayal is one of the deepest cuts you can experience. It shatters your sense of trust not just in others, but in yourself. You start questioning everything. Was I not enough? What did I do wrong? But the truth is, their choices are not a reflection of your worth. If you're going through something similar, please know you are not alone. The road to healing is tough, but you are stronger than you think. It's okay to feel lost, angry, and heartbroken. Allow yourself to feel it all. But don't let it define you. This is a chapter, not your whole story. And remember, there is always help available. Talking to a therapist or a trusted friend can make all the difference. Your story doesn't end here. This is where your strength begins. Thank you for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, please consider subscribing. Your support means the world to me. Take care of yourselves. I asked him why. He said he was confused, that he loved me but felt lonely, that it just happened. That one sentence, it broke something inside me. Because cheating doesn't just happen. It's a choice. Made over and over and over again. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because the whole situation felt completely unreal. 3 years of my life. And in the end, I was just convenient. He cried. He begged. He swore he'd end it with her. He promised therapy, transparency, absolutely anything I wanted. I didn't say much. I just went to our bedroom and packed a bag. As I walked toward the front door, he dropped to his knees and grabbed my hand. He said he couldn't live without me. But honestly, something inside me had already died. I didn't even recognize the person in front of me. I stayed with a friend for weeks. I barely ate. I barely slept. I just kept replaying memories in my head, trying to figure out what was real and what was a lie. Was our last vacation a lie? Our anniversary dinner? The I love you he said just that morning? The doubt was eating me alive. Then the messages started. Long, rambling apologies at 3 a.m. Late night calls I never answered. Voicemails where he was just crying, saying he'd ruined the best thing in his life. He swore he had cut her off completely. Said he was finally being honest. Said he loved me more than anything in the world. And for a moment, I almost went back. I really did. Because the thought of starting over is terrifying. The comfort of what you know, even when it's painful, feels safer than the unknown. But then, I learned the truth. Not from him. She messaged me. She sent screenshots, dates, everything. She told me she had no idea about me at first. He had told her we were basically over and just roommates. When she finally found out the truth, she left him too. And in that moment, something became painfully clear. He wasn't sorry because he hurt me. He was sorry because he lost control. He was sorry he got caught. He didn't want to lose his comfortable life with me, or his exciting secret with her. He wanted both. I blocked his number. I blocked him on everything. It's been 8 months now. Healing isn't a straight line. It's messy. But I'm learning to trust myself again. I'm learning that real love shouldn't feel like a constant knot of anxiety in your stomach. Some nights, yeah, I still miss the version of him I thought I knew. The one I fell in love with. But I don't miss the lies. I don't miss wondering where he was or who he was texting. And I definitely don't miss loving someone who didn't choose me when it mattered most. So I ask myself this question all the time, and now I want to ask you, did I walk away too quickly? Or did I finally choose myself? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, just know you're not alone. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories about finding our way back to ourselves.